Hiya. Okay, fly tying. What is it? Well, basically, it's just putting ingredients on the hook in the right order. Okay, with a few basic techniques. But it's so daunting getting into fly tying. It's expensive and that sort of thing. Well, I'm going to show you it isn't expensive. You can do it wherever you like. And I'm going to show you my setup. Okay, I have done a similar video to this. I'm just trying to get across. Fly tying can be for any fly fisherman. Okay, it's not too bad, it's not too hard. Okay, any fly fisherman can do it. Okay, so I'm going to go through my fly tying setup. I'm going to walk around the room and show you, because I've laid everything out, just explain why it isn't expensive, why you can do it anywhere. So here we start. So this is my table. It's a fold out table from Argos. I can move that to any room in the house. I think it was about £8. And on that table, I've just put a bit of white card to provide a white background. It makes it easier to see the outline of a fly. What have I got on the fly tying table to start with? Well, I've got a spotlight. Again, I think that was from Argos, about £10. Okay, you only need a basic spotlight. You don't need anything fancy. And because I'm getting on a little bit, I wear these angling eyes glasses. They're brilliant. They magnify the fly. They have bifocal bits. And the tint takes away the glare of the spotlight. So, what else do you need for fly tying? Well, obviously you need fly tying visors. These are the Sportfish Super 2 visors. I think they retail about £20. I have two of them. You only need one of them. And what does a vice need to do? Well, it needs to clamp the hook. But also, ideally, you need a vice that rotates. And I think this is about the best one I can find that rotates and clamps a hook. Now, as you get into fly tying, you get into tying smaller flies, you might need a more expensive vice. But to start with, just start with something basic like this. What else do you need? Well, you need some bobbin holders. Okay? Start with cheap ones. And again, as you get into it, once you've learned how to fly tie, you might want to get more expensive equipment. I always find a dubbing needle useful, just to pull out hairs, but you could use just an ordinary needle. And scissors. I have several pairs, but I would recommend one expensive pair, about £12 to £15, and one cheap pair for cutting wires and that sort of thing. Other materials you might need is super glue for gluing beads and wire to the hook, varnish for varnishing bodies of flies, and I use paper glue for dubbing on flies. Okay, what materials do you start with? Well, various threads, but what I recommend is start with 4 colours, and that is olive, black, brown, and white. But not only in thread, in dubbing, start with the same. Okay? And in marabou, start with the same. And this will tie 90% of the flies you need to tie. And hackles. Okay? I pull out a load of the best hackles, put them in a separate box, so it's a lot easier for me to find the hackle when I need it. Okay? Okay. So if you start with them 4 basic colours, olive, black, brown and white, you won't go far wrong. So what other stuff do you need for fly tying? Well, obviously, hooks and beads. I'm going to go more into hooks and beads and how to set them up in another video. But let me just show you something. So this is my dad's fly box from 25 years ago. And if you notice, there are hardly no beads in it at all. This is my fly box nowadays. And you will find this is probably like most fly boxes nowadays. You have beads, lots of them. Okay, so you need beads and hooks. I do most of my fly tying on size 10s, and that's how I'd suggest to start. I fish still waters, and that just to get yourself into fly tying, start with size 10s and then you can diversify up and down from 8s, 12s, and the smallest I tie is 14s. What other stuff do you need for fly tying? Well, you're going to need ribbing material. Again, watch my videos. I've got copper ribbon there, silver, pearl, that sort of thing. Okay. And some basic feathers. Right, okay, so I've got peacock herl, it's very useful for some flies. And then I've got pheasant tail, very useful for legs, on daddies, the tails, very useful feathers. You can pick them up in the woods, you can get them for free. And then you can pick up stuff around wildlife parks like flamingo feathers. And then I think I've got some jay feathers, and there's some swan feathers as well. These can be picked up free, really cheaply. Okay, so what else have I got? After a while, you might want to get some frits for body material. Again, watch my videos. You will see me use it in quite a few videos. So easy to tie in and create so many different flies. And you have tinsels, okay? They can be added to flies to add attraction. Okay. So, I'm a suggestive fly tyer. My flies suggest an item that a trout might feed on. Okay. Like damsel nymphs, for example. So, here's some examples of my damsel nymphs. Okay. Alright. They don't look exactly like damsel nymphs. You can see there's blues in there and that sort of thing. But the fish will like them. But you've got montanas in there. Do they look like anything in the wild? Not really. But they suggest something. Hares, that sort of thing. Okay. As you get more into fly tying, you might want to go into imitative fly tying. And that's where you're imitating something. Okay. And I can't really get it. There we have some buzzers. They're more imitative, okay? They more imitate the item of food that you're trying to catch for fish on. So basically fly tying doesn't have to be expensive, okay? You can do it anywhere in the house, and I would suggest start with something like what I've got up. I use the same setup what I started with. There's no reason to buy expensive equipment, but if you wish to tie smaller flies, that sort of thing, you might need to get some more expensive equipment. So that's basically it. Thank you.